Kodak stock has jumped up over 1,000% in the last 48 hours. They received nearly $1 billion to start producing pharmaceutical drugs. But yes, this is Kodak, the former film company that's now making a transition. Is it too late for the stock, and can they pull this off? Let's talk about it coming up. President Trump has recently landed a deal with Kodak. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is the same Kodak that had the wind-up cameras that you had to press the button to activate the flash, and you had no idea if it was a good picture or not until after you had it developed. In January of 2009, Kodak announced that they received a $137 million loss for the previous quarter. And later that year, they stopped producing Kodachrome, which they had been producing for 74 years. So it was the last year of the film production. And finally, in 2012, they stopped producing digital cameras and filed for bankruptcy. But here's something you may not know. Kodak actually invented the digital camera. Steven Sasson actually created it back in 1975. But Kodak didn't want to make the transition because film was a large part of their revenue, which of course translated to their bottom line. I shoot my videos primarily with Canon cameras, but it doesn't matter with DSLRs or even higher grade cameras. You don't think of Kodak when you think of digital cameras, and that really shouldn't be the case. They were the pioneers for the transition from film to digital. Kodak was prioritizing profit versus innovation. This led them to try and keep the idea suppressed. And of course, Fiji came along, and eventually their patents ran out, and the technology was able to get out anyway. And of course, Kodak tried to chase behind it, but the transition had already happened, and they were a little too late. I'm going to read one of my favorite quotes by Sinek, and it kind of aligns with the decisions that Kodak made. Instead of blowing their own company up, someone had to do it for them because they were focused more so on the short term than the long term. The quote goes, "The pressure around us is overwhelming to focus on the short term, focus on the win, focus on being number one, and to think about ourselves before we think about others." And this really just ties directly into whether you're having a finite or an infinite mindset. And Kodak was definitely reluctant to pivot because of the profit that they were making then. And even though they had an idea as far as changing the market, but they didn't want to simply because of the position that they were in at the current time. Okay, history lesson over. Let's talk about the stock. Kodak was halted almost 20 times today from trading. Kodak was halted today almost 20 times, and this just doesn't mean that the stock was going up. It just means that the stock was extremely volatile. It could have been trading down as well, but they halted the stock because of the massive amount of action taking place. And it's always, when you're trading a trending stock, the risk is always extremely high. So for all my momentum stock traders, just be very careful. A couple weeks ago, Kodak's entire valuation was maybe $200 million. Now they're approaching a $2 billion valuation because of the momentum behind this stock. My opinion, I'll be nowhere near this stock, but who knows, it could hit 3 digits in the next couple days. The primary reason for the stock going up is just investors getting in and trying to grab an early position because of the transition that Kodak is making via Donald Trump and the loan that they gave them to produce the pharmaceuticals in America. Why Kodak got the loan is very easy to understand. The president is just guiding us to break away our dependency on China as far as producing the generic drugs and having them made here in America. Have absolutely no issue with that. But will Kodak be able to deliver on this is a whole nother topic. The new company is going to be called Kodak Pharmaceuticals. And I'm not saying that they can't pull it off, but this is certainly out of their area. And a side note, I don't know who negotiated this deal on Kodak's end, but they are the best negotiators in the world, because I really have no idea how they pull this off. But per the president, they're hiring some of the best people, so we're just going to have to see how this pans out. But as of right now, I won't personally be investing in this stock because I have nothing concrete to hold it to as far as an evaluation of why it's going up or why it's going down or what's causing the pump and why they are even pumping it up in the first place. So I personally will be staying away from this. But I will be tracking it and posting updates because I may hop in, and of course I'll let you guys know as well. So if you're chasing trending stocks, you better have some insurance, because the hype behind this stock can disappear even faster than it was created. If you received any value from this video, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps us grow, especially now that we're closing in on 700 subscribers. As always, I promise you no fluff and to get straight to the point. Thanks, and until next time.